Hard to believe that the first Arbor Day, America's tree planting holiday, began 150 years ago. And that first Arbor Day in 1872 resulted in more than 1 million trees being planted way back then. Emily Swihart from the University of Illinois Extension is here with some tree planting tips for Arbor Day tomorrow. And I remember in school, in grade school, we'd always plant a tree on Arbor Day. That was the big thing to do for the kids. I don't know if any of those trees ever made it.
Oh, I hope so, and
Yeah.
I'm sure they did. That was a call to action by Theodore Roosevelt. Fun fact.
Yes, wasn't he the father of the national parks and all of that? Yeah.
Big conservation.
Yeah, wasn't he? Thank God for people like that in our history.
Agreed.
I mean,
Agreed.
look what they've done now, and even that first year to say that 1 million trees were planted. So how are we doing on trees, Emily? Or do we need more?
Well, always. We're doing fine, but that Arbor Day started by somebody who was really passionate about trees and shared that passion. J. Sterling Morton, you might have heard of Morton Arboretum. His kids founded that. But we can always use more. That's why Arbor Day started. We needed more trees, and especially in our urban environments. And so,
because trees do what? Let's just get down to the basics of
Sure.
why we love them and how they help.
well, I like to describe them as our most important piece of infrastructure in that they help with water management. They help with conserving energy by providing shade, by blocking winds in the winter to reduce heating costs. They are beautiful.
Yeah, especially that stick you brought.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful tree.
This is a bur oak, and it is going to be a phenomenal
Of course.
tree.
In how many years?
I'm going to say 20 years. It'll have really, really beautiful
20.
size on it.
When
yeah.
I'm still hosting this show,
Heck
this
yeah.
tree will be, Jake's saying, yeah. No, boo, no. No, so in 20 years, the leaf will be what? What color?
Well, it has nice, nice green. It's one of the.
It does turn.
Yeah, it turns
fall?
kind of a rusty, orangish, reddish. There's some variability with oaks. They are promiscuous, in that they're unless you get one that has been grafted, and I can show you what I mean when I say grafted. But just right from the acorn, there's a bit of variability in their fall color. But they are incredible habitat for conservation. They're just stunning, stately trees.
Well, you brought a tree in a pot to
did.
illustrate some points.
Yeah.
The first one is when you're planting.
Yeah.
We really need to match the tree to the site where it's going. So
Yep.
what would that be exactly?
So you want to take into consideration what this tree is going to look like in 20, 30, 50 years. Right? This is a bur oak. It can get up to 70 feet tall
So
and
it'll be
wide.
huge.
Yeah, so under like a power line would not be an ideal location for this tree. So
You need to know the stats of the tree.
Yeah, yep, and of your site. So what kind of soil do you have? What kind of light conditions? Some trees prefer full sun. Some trees prefer, a little bit more dappled shade. You can talk to local nurserymen or call Illinois Extension. We're happy to talk to folks about, the specific needs of trees and what their site might accommodate. But that's the first step in doing a really good job of planting a tree.
The next thing is about depth. You
Yes.
say most of us plant a tree too deep into the ground.
Yes. Yeah. So trees from the nursery, and I brought this one to demonstrate, oftentimes come planted too deep. It's just a product of how the trees are produced and gotten to the nursery. So what you want to do is you want to locate what's called the first lateral root.
Okay.
You don't need to know that name. You just need to know what you're looking for.
You think you can show that
Can
to
we
the
show that?
camera? What is
Yes.
it? Point to it again.
So it's-
first lateral root. I do not know what that
Yeah,
is.
it is the first real root. So on some trees, if they're buried too deep, they'll have some like auxiliary roots coming out of
Turn it that way.
This way?
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right.
So put your finger on it
Yep.
again. Okay.
So they're coming out right here. You can see they're about a little smaller than a pencil. It's probably really hard to see, but once you get a tree to plant tomorrow and start digging in there, you'll be able to see it. It's the real. It looks like almost like a twig, but it's a root coming off of there.
And that should be
At the soil line or above.
right at the line.
Yep.
Okay.
If you are wondering, plant it higher than the soil line.
Higher, not deeper.
Yep. There's a saying: if you plant it high, or plant it high, it won't die. Plant it low, it won't grow. It is pretty detrimental to trees to plant them too low, and so err on the side of caution and plant it high.
Are you going to plant a tree tomorrow?
Yeah, this one.
You really?
A bur oak.
Well,
yeah.
you'll be around in 20 years to enjoy it. I'm not a role
well,
model.
And the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is today. And so we're planting trees as a gift to the next, future generations.
It really is.
Conservation.
You're right. A tree is for the next generation.
Absolutely.
Yes. I love that little saying you just said. The best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is today.
Yep. It is not mine. I think it's a proverb of some sort.
It's good. It's good. It's a tree proverb.
Yeah.
It's an Arbor Day proverb in the book of Arbor Day proverbs. Okay, so Arbor Day is tomorrow.
Yep.
However you celebrate it, or just go out and enjoy a tree. Sit under a shade tree.
Yeah.
Maybe we could use that.
Absolutely.
I don't know if there's any shade to be had.
They're starting.
We're going to
We could use the sun first.
Yes,
but,
we're going to check that weather just a little
and
bit.
And if folks aren't planting trees, mulch trees that you already have and love in your landscape, mulch is an excellent insulator. It keeps moisture in the soil, keeps mowers away from tree trunks. And so mulch is really, about a couple inches of mulch around.
Just a little mulch. And then we want to, I'm sorry, we say one more thing and then you're going to mention the birds.
Oh, I was going to say, and put it in the form of a donut, not a volcano. So it looks like a donut around the tree.
Don't pile it up against the,
Right.
Oh, we're talking about mulch. Now we're talking about birds.
Yeah.
Put your bird feeders away.
Yes. Unfortunately, we have had an outbreak of avian flu in the area. It is a highly contagious virus that is affecting wild bird populations, but can be spread to domestic birds. So we ask that everybody put away your bird feeders just until the end of May. Plant trees instead to help support birds for now. We just want to try to prevent the spread of that virus.
Just for a month.
Yeah, yep. Yeah. And when you put the bird feeders back out, clean them before you do with a diluted solution of bleach.
Okay.
Keep it clean and tidy around the site, but it'll help the wild birds that we love so much.
Emily, thank you.
My
Happy
pleasure.
Arbor Day tomorrow.
Happy Arbor Day.
Thanks.